We'll chant Om 3 times, followed by the invocation shlokas. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunektu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. We're doing chapter 8 of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Chapter 8 is called as Akshara Brahma Yoga, and in this chapter, as we missed, as we did not have classes for last two Sundays, we just started, and Arjuna has asked some questions to Lord Krishna. Why did Arjuna ask these questions to Lord Krishna is based upon what Krishna mentioned in the last few verses of chapter 7. Okay? So where he said, Lord Krishna in chapter 7, he ended saying that whoever, after explaining Jnana Vijnana Yoga, he said, whoever surrenders to me completely, right, with Adhyatma, with karma, etc. So for them, I'll give moksha. So that's what Krishna said. So in those two shlokas, Krishna used some terms. He said like Jara Marana Mokshaya. So these are the shlokas from chapter 7, 29 and 30. He said Jara Marana Mokshaya Mama Shritraitantiye Te Brahma. So that's the Brahma is your Tadvit Prusnam Adhyatmam. Adhyatmam is another word. Karma cha akhilam. Karma is another word. Then in the shloka 30, he continued Sadhibhūta. Okay, Sadhibhūta Adhidaivam. Adhibhūta and Adhidaivam. Mam Sadhiyajñam. So another one, Adhiyajñam. Cha ye viduhu prayanakalepi. Prayanaka is another word. Cha mam te vidur yukta chetasa. So one who know me as Adhibhūta, one who knows me as Adhidaiva, one who knows me as Adhyatma, one who knows, okay, even at the time of death, okay, they are going to know me, and then they are going to surrender to me, and they understand this entire Brahman is what Brahman is, and they understand this entire Adhyatma, okay, centered around the body, okay, and they know all about karma, and knowing all of this, they will attain me. That's what he said. So now, obviously, Arjuna had questions around it. So the chapter 8 started with the questions of Arjuna, where he said, the first two shlokas, he said, Kim Tad Brahma, what is that Brahman? Kim Adhyatma, what is that Adhyatma? Kim Karma, what is that Karma? Purushottama, Purushottama means Hey Krishna. Adhibhūtam cha. Okay, what is Adhibhūtam? Adhibhūtam cha kim? Whatever is Adhibhūtam, Proktam, meaning whatever is said as Adhibhūtam. Adhidaivam kim uchyate? What is Adhidaivam? Adhiyajña katham. What is Adhiyajña? Kotra dehesmin Madhusudana. Okay, so who is this? Dehesmin meaning this who is settled? I mean, like who is this Adhiyajña, and who is in a yajna? Like I'll come to that in a little bit detail. And prayana kalechi katham. What do you mean by prayana kala? Okay, tell me all that. Niyata atma bihi. Okay, so meaning you have controlled your atma. So you please tell me all of those. So now when this question has come, okay, the specifically around the term Adhiyajñam katha kotram dehesmin, meaning when a yajna is performed, there are multiple things that happen in yajna. One is that the there are like different types of yajnas you can perform. Okay. Now, when different types of yajnas are performed, okay. Now, there is a performer of yajna. Are you referring to that guy who is performing the yajna, or now performance yajna of yajna is done for a particular deity? Are you referring to that deity, or someone at the end of the yajna they give the results, okay, or that result giver of that yajna? Who are you talking about? Okay, so that's a question. So that dehes mean that's what it is being referred to. So all of these questions, I mean, basically what happened is that every word that Lord Krishna has used in chapter 7, at the end of chapter 7, Arjuna wants to know answers for all of them. Because Arjuna has these questions, what happened is that, and Bhagwan is taking time to answer all these questions in detail. Suddenly, from Jnana Vijnana Yoga, there is a diversion to talk about these questions and answers. So that is what is Akshara Brahma Yoga. Now, once Bhagwan gives answers to all of this, then Bhagwan goes back to his main thought flow. And when he goes there, that becomes chapter 9, which is the Raja, Raja Yoga, not Raja Yoga. This is I forgot the name. I can't believe. So it is called Raja
Raja
Vidya
Vidya
Raja
Yoga.
Yoga.
Raja Vidya Yoga is what I'm seeing here. Yeah, what you said. Yeah.
So Raja Vidya, Raja Yoga. So where he again continues to teaching about the main, the Jnana Vijnana thought process continues in chapter 9. Now, here Bhagavan started saying, what are each of those questions? So now we have seen some of this in the last session. So Bhagavan starts saying, Sri Bhagavan Vacha, Aksharam Brahma Parama Swabhavo Adhyatmam Uchyate. Bhuta Bhavodbhavakaro Visargha Karma Sangita. So this is the one that we are looking at it. So the first one is simple. Aksharam Brahma Uchyate, right? So Aksharam Brahma Paramam, that's what it is said. Aksharam Brahma Paramam means this Brahman. Okay, so you're asking what is Brahma? That is Aksharam Paramam. Because when Arjuna asked this question, what is Brahman? Okay, what is Brahma that you are referring to? The question, because see, the thing is that like we talk about the, we are studying Apara Prakriti and Para Prakriti in chapter 7, right? Para Prakriti is higher nature and Apara Prakriti is lower nature. And what we studied is that all these Panchamahabhutas, Mana, Buddhi, Chitta, Hankara, all of these kind of put together, this Jiva, etc. All of these put together, what we call that as Apara Prakriti or lower Prakriti, Ashtadha Prakriti, right? Now, there is a creator for all of this. Okay, that creator in Vedantic language, we call it as Hiranyagarbha. Now, in Pauranic language, we call that entity as Brahmaji, with one with 4 heads. Now he is the creator, and of course, in that, when you look at that way, he is the creator, and for his entire life of this, right? So all the 14 lokas are created, 14 lokas are destroyed, but he's also, in a way, he's Brahma also. So that's why Brahmaji also has the same name as Brahman. But this Brahman, this Brahmaji, what we are talking about, one who is a creator like that, he also has a expiry date. Okay, just like we all have an expiry date, he also has expiry date. It's a longer time, much longer time compared to our thing. It comes to some like 4.5 trillion years or something like that in human age. But at the end of the day, I mean, eventually he also has an end. Now, Akshara, and then this Brahma with Kshara. Kshara means one who has an end. He has Upadhis. Upadhis meaning he has a particular body, etc., identification with a particular body, etc., all of that is there. Now, this body, at our physical level, individually, we all have identification with our physical body. What does Brahmaji have identification with? With the entire creation that has been created. He is identified with the entire creation. So just like my body has an expiry date and this body falls down, that creation also is going to fall down. Whenever there is a upadhi meaning an identification with which there is an identification with, okay, you're associated with this, whatever you're associated with, that is going to fall down. Why? That means other than Brahman, the Supreme Brahman, none of them is true. Everything else is mithya. Anything that we are identifying with mithya, that mithya vastu, that the mithya meaning impermanent, it is illusory. Okay, that is going to go away. Sometimes it takes few seconds. Sometimes this illusory object may take few years or few centuries or whatever, long time, but eventually all of them will go away. So here, when you're talking, Bhagavan is saying, when I'm talking about Brahma, I'm talking about that Supreme Brahman. So that's why the word Paramam is also used. Okay? Paramam means supreme, superior, right? So that is Akshara Brahma. Okay? Now, then the question came, now, what is Adhyatma? Adhyatma is second question, right? So what is Adhyatma? What he said is Swabhavam Adhyatmam Uchyate. So Adhyatma is Swabhava. That is his definition. Okay, now what is Swabhava? Okay. Now, this Brahman that you're talking about is what? That Satchitananda Brahman. That Satchitananda Brahma has to be expressed or understood as me only. So Swa meaning myself. Bhava means, sorry, Swabhava is Swa cha Bhavaha, Asau is Swabhava, meaning the feeling that it is me alone, that is Swabhava. Okay? It is my own nature. So what are you talking about my own nature? Adhyatma is my own nature. The Brahman that we are talking about just now, okay, that is me alone. Nothing other than me is Brahman. Okay, Brahman is none other than me. That is the understanding. Okay. So then the third part of the uh, question, Bhuta Bhava Udbhava Karo Visargaha Karma Sannitam. Okay. So this is the second line from the third shloka. Okay. So you have asked, what is karma? Okay. That karma is not anything. So now the question is, what is karma, right? So now the karma is, Bhagavan is not going to say like, oh, anything that you do is karma. No, 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 not like that. Okay. When we are talking karma, okay, we're talking about a seeker's karma. Okay. So seeker's karma means what? Hmm? We are not talking about like so the performance of karma here is what I am doing to strive spiritually and what is not being done. Okay. So bhuta bhavaha udbhavakaraha visargaha karma sanyitaha. So karma sanyitaha. Okay. So karma meaning that which is going to give us results. Okay. That karma sanya means a sign or a symbol, meaning it has to have a name. Okay. And that name, okay, in Shastras, whatever we are performing, that name is karma, and that name that is given is Visarga. Okay. And Visarga is the name. Visarga, why Visarga? Visarga is Tyaga. Okay. Now, try to understand. Any karma that I perform, Bhagavan is not worried about. When Bhagavan is using the word karma, he's talking about the karma that is going to be useful for me to strive spiritually. And that which helped me going to strive spiritually, that has a name, Sanya. What is that name? The name is Visarga. Visarga means Tyaga. Meaning like any karmas that I must perform with, it should be of the nature of Tyaga. Tyaga means sacrifice, meaning giving up. And what is that we are going to give up? Okay. And it should, when we give up something, okay, what are the things that we are giving up? Bhuta, bhava, udbhava. So bhuta means beings. Bhuta, udbhava means things that came from the bhutas. Okay, so that means what? This entire world is made up of Panchamahabhutas and their results. Their results in sense, for example, humans are made up of Panchamahabhutas. If and plants, animals, entire earth is made up of Panchamahabhutas. So we are all Bhuta or Udbhava or Bhuta Bhava or Udbhava, right? So either I am the Panchamahabhutas or I am born out of Panchamahabhutas. So this Panchamahabhutas, okay, this I have to give up. Meaning, like anything that is coming from this world, they are giving up as part of this karma. So that means what? Any individual who is striving for their spiritual progress and they're giving up anything that is made of Panchamahabhutas. Meaning, now, Swarga, Swarga meaning heavens, are also made up of the same Panchamahabhutas. Okay, so now if you are giving up the results of Panchamahabhutas from this world and the other worlds, that means what? This goes to the definition of Vedantic definition of Vairagya. Vedantic definition of Vairagya is giving up attachment to any pleasures that are there either in this loka or higher loka. So that means what? Performing karma with Vairagya. Performing karma with Vairagya, what is the term for that? That is called as karma yoga. So when Bhagavan is talking about Visarga or anything like that, okay, so he is talking about this giving up. Performing karma yoga is what karma is referring to. So Aksharam Brahma Paramam is first answer, right? That is, Brahma means you're talking about Supreme Brahman. And then Adhyatma. What is Adhyatma? It is Swabhava. Swabhava means I have a feeling that Brahman is me alone. Okay. So that means what? That means understand that Jiva Brahma Ekata. I am that Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi. That thought is okay. And then the uh, finally the fourth one is the third one is karma. What is karma? Karma is visarga, or you can say karma is karma yoga. That is what he is referring to. So this is, I mean, like I don't know if we covered all of this, so that's why like I covered the third verse a little bit in detail. Do you have any questions based on what you heard so far? No questions? Okay. So let's go to the next shloka, shloka number 4. Okay. And this is, I'll break down the words, okay? And then one of you can go off mute and repeat after me. Adhibhūtam. Okay, this is the fourth verse from chapter 8. Adhibhūtam ksharo. Actually, the word is ksharaha. However, okay, when sandhi with the next word comes, it becomes ksharo. Bhavaha. Bhavaha is single word again. Purushascha-adhidaivatam. So in this word, Purushascha-adhidaivatam, there are 3 words are there. Purushaha, cha, Purushaha and cha together becomes Purushascha. And Purushascha and Adhidaivatam becomes Purushascha-adhidaivatam. Okay. Then Adhiyajñohamevatra. Okay, that one has got Adhiyajña is one word. Aham, second word. Eva, third, and Atra. Adhiyajñam, Aham, Eva, Atra. Okay. Together becomes Adhiyajñohamevatra. Dehe, next word. Cha, Dehe, Deha Bhrutam. So Deha is one word and Bhrutam is another word. Vara. Okay. So this is the breakdown of individual words. Okay. So let us chant this shloka. Adhibhūtam ksharo bhavaha
Adhibhūtam ksharo bhavaha
purushascha-adhidaivatam
purushaccādidaivatam
adhiyajñohamevatra
adhiyajno hevatra
adhiyajñohamevatra. Okay.
adhiyajnoham hevatra
Dehe deha bhrutam vara.
dehe deha bhrutambara.
So now in this one, right, he is giving the breakdown. He is giving answers for what is Adhibhūtam, what is Adhidaiva, okay, and what is Adhiyajña. So 3 questions are answered in here. Okay. So let us see individual word by word meaning of each of these and then go from there. Okay. So Ksharaha Bhavaha. Okay. So Kshara, we just said that the chapter name, the name of this chapter is Akshara. And even the definition of Brahman, Akshara Brahma, right? That was the word that was used, right? Aksharam Brahma Paramam. So Akshara means what? Imperishable. Now, opposite to imperishable is Kshara is perishable. So Bhava. Kshara Bhavaha means perishable existence. Here, bhava is not a feeling. Okay? Just we said bhava, right? Bhava means what? Udbhava means what? Something that comes out and comes into existence. Okay? So that is bhava. So that bhava, that kshara, bhavaha means this is perishable existence. Whatever the existence of perishable existence, understand it as Adhibhūtam. Adhibhūta means the world that is centered around all the bhutas. Meaning what? Anything and everything that you are seeing in this world, it is centered around all the bhutas. And all of that is centered around in this world, around the bhutas, they are all perishable. Okay? So the world of objects, world of people, world of feelings, world of thoughts, world of experiences are all perishable. That's number one. Yeah. Oh, what is the purpose of knowing this? That means there's no point in having attachment to anything that is in this world, number one, for us. Okay? We don't need to have any attachment to anything that is in this world. Second thing is, again, what this is a definition, yes, but like how was this definition fit in the previous chapter? One who understands that this Adhibhūtam is also me. Means what? That the one who is actually going to Bhagwan, okay, one who is getting moksha, he understands that everything in this world that is there is perishable, and yet this entire perishable thing is Bhagwan alone. That is his understanding. So, if I see, okay, Maha was sitting here, so I have a hair clip here. Okay, if I see hair clip, okay, obviously I can't use this hair clip by myself. So I see this hair clip. So this hair clip is what is perishable. At the same time, of course, in this case, with respect to this, I don't have attachment, but I have more attachment to this. Okay, this is my wallet. Okay. Now this wallet, I am more attached to this wallet, right? So, but this is perishable. Yet I have, so I cannot have attachment. But again, understand that this is Bhagwan also. Okay, so this is not different from Bhagwan. So then in that case, I should understand whatever is in this wallet will be exhausted. So I should not get attached to it. At the same time, understand that this is no different from Bhagwan. Okay, so use it wisely, use it for good purposes. Okay, so this is the attitude I should have either with money or with people or our relationship with people, etc. All of that is Adhibhūtam Ksharo Bhava. And we said Purushaha, okay, cha Adhidaivatam, okay. Atra dehe, okay, Purushaha means we're talking about Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha means, think about like Brahmaji as an example, right? Okay. So this entire world, if you see, the thing is that Brahman alone is everything. Brahman, when is not associated with anything, okay, then that Brahman doesn't have any guna, meaning any qualities or any shape. So we call it as nirguna because devoid of all gunas. Brahman is nirakara, meaning without any form. That is pure Brahman, nirguna nirakara. And we also say nirupadhika is another term that we use. Nirupadhika means without any upadhis, meaning not associated with anything. The same Brahman, when it is associated with this creation, then we call it as saguna, meaning with gunas. And it could be saguna with sakara, meaning with some form. Meaning with some form means what? Like okay, Brahman, like you can imagine Brahman as a Vishnu Bhagwan, we can imagine Brahman as Shiva, etc. But any and every form is Brahman alone, right? So that's also Saguna Sakara. And with a Upadhi, meaning an association, like at an individual level, the Brahman is being associated with this physical body, right? Whereas at a cosmic level, Brahman is associated with, identified with the entire cosmos. So that Purusha here, one who is identified with entire cosmos, okay, and okay, who is identified in all the forms, all the cosmic forms. All the cosmic forms means what? Whether it is Brahmaji, whether it is Vishnu, whether it is Shiva, Parvati, whatever form you take, right? All of that is Brahman alone. Okay? That also is Brahman alone. So, at a physical level, everything in this world is Brahman and everything else is going to be Kshara. Kshara meaning it is perishable. When you think about Devatas level, okay, all Devatas are also Kshara. They also have perishable existence. Okay. When we're talking about Devatas, we're not talking about God as in Supreme God. We're talking about deities. Okay. Adhiyajñoham evatra dehe deha bhutam varaha. Adhiyajña. Okay, so now he's going to define what is Adhiyajña. Atra dehe, here in this body, Adhiyajña, meaning centered on Yajna, Ahameva, I alone, Deha Bhutam, among the Ahameva, Deha Bhutam. Okay, so it means I am the embodied one. Among the embodied means among those devatas. Okay, among those people. Okay, I alone vara. I alone shine. Okay, so now this is what kind of answer is this? What is the question? What is yajna and what is this answer for this yajna? Okay, so that what do you mean by this? Uh, what are you saying here? Okay, so he's saying that, see, Archana, okay, the when I'm saying that yajna, okay, adhiyajna, okay, you understand that, okay, the who is the giver of results? I am the giver of the results. Okay. Now yajna means performance of action itself is yajna. Performance of any action with a supreme, with a higher noble intent is yajna. So when that, and who is the performer of that yajna? Me as an individual, I am the performer of that yajna. So if I am as an individual, I am the performer of that yajna, because see, like when we talk about yajna, Did I talk to you about the Panchamahayajnas before? Yes, no? No? Okay. So, from a Vedantic perspective, from a Bhagwan's perspective, we have to perform yajnas. Who? You, me, all of us. Now, like in the past, when someone does a yajna, a performance of yajna is so difficult that when someone when someone performs yajna, they drink something called soma rasa. Okay? So soma is a particular plant, and they drink the juice from that plant. And when that is done, and when after the successful conclusion of yajna, so then they are called as one who performs yajna and drinks soma rasa. They are called as somayaji, and that becomes a title for rest of their what you call, not ancestry, but descendants. That if someone in India, if you see a name Somayaji or Somayajulu or whatever, right? Somayaji, then that means that someone in their ancestors, they performed one yajna at some point of time. Now, Bhagwan here is asking us to perform yajna every day. And not one yajna, but 5 yajnas every day. Okay? So, what are these 5 yajnas that Bhagwan is asking us to perform? Is the first yajna is called as Deva Yajna. Okay? Then, second yajna is called as Pitru Yajna. Then, third yajna is called as Brahma Yajna. Fourth is called as Manushya Yajna. And finally, the fifth is called as Bhuta Yajna. So, we have to perform 5 types of yajnas every day. What is this Deva Yajna mean? This Deva Yajna is basically you propitiate Devatas. Now, Devatas here we are talking about cosmic beings. So, as a Adhisthana Devatas of presiding Devatas of different aspects. That means what? If there's a forest, do you know story is at least like for those who have Indian origin, the stories where someone goes into forest and they're trying to do something, and one devata stops and asks that person a question or something like that. Have you heard some stories like that? Yes, no? Or the story where this woodcutter loses his axe in the water, and then someone from the water comes up and shows a golden axe and says, "Is this axe yours?" Do you remember the story? Yes, no? No?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
That's a children's story. It is like, the guy goes and loses a axe, and then the point, my point there is that the Jaladevata, the deity of that waters, she comes out and asks, "Is this golden axe yours?" He says, "No." And then brings out a silver axe and says, "Is it yours?" He says, "No." And then his own axe, he says, "Yes." And happy with his honesty, she gives all those 3. Then he becomes rich, and his neighbor knows about it, and his neighbor also comes and he purposefully drops that axe in there, the Jaladevata again comes and says, shows a golden axe and says, is it yours? Ingrid says, yes, it is mine. And then like she vanishes with his real axe too. But anyway, that's the story about greed, etc. But there, that is a Jaladevata. Okay. Now, so for every house, there is a Vastu Devata. You know, like when we do like Gro Pravesham, etc., like as in like, housewarming thing, we do Vastu Puja. Yes, Vastu Devata Puja. So, corresponding to that house, there is a Devata. Corresponding to every house, there is a Devata. Okay, like that, we see when for a forest, there is a Vana Devata, for a hill, there is a Devata. Like that, we have Devatas everywhere, right? Rivers also we name Ganga Devi, Yamuna Devi, Saraswati Devi. Like that, every river has got a Devata associated with it. So we have to perform a puja for all of them every day. What does that mean? We need to take care of our ecology. Okay, we need to nourish them. Okay, so because see what happens, a tree gives us fruits even if we throw stones at it. So what we need to do, we need to nourish the trees. How do we nourish the trees? Plant more trees and take care of the trees, water the trees, etc. So like that, anything and everything in this universe is giving, giving, giving at a cosmic, at a common level, right? So you take care of them, and taking care of them is what is called as Devayajña. Okay, taking care of ecological things around us is Devayajña. So that is what we need to do. So that means that pour water to them, etc. Then Pitru Yajña. Pitru means our ancestors. Our ancestors. So we need to perform yajna for them. So that means what? Typically, one thought will come is that Pitrus, meaning like as soon as we say Pitrus, if someone who knows our traditions, they think about crows and give food for crows is one thought, right? Which is fine, which is not a bad thing. Okay, you're taking care of animals around you. But what has been passed to us from our ancestors is our tradition, our culture. So what you do is you protect the tradition and culture that is passed to you from your parents and forefathers and share it with others. Okay? This is what is called as Pitru Yajna. Then third is Brahma Yajna. Brahma Yajna, Brahma, we always associated with Brahman, right? So performing a Brahma Yajna here means about anything that enables us to go to Brahman. Okay, we need to protect and share, which means what? That means read our scriptures on a regular basis, practice them, and propagate them. Okay, so do a sadhana for self, because so first thing is, so there's a like 3 S's here. Okay, first is what you call as Swadhyaya. Swadhyaya means self-study. Okay, do self-study of scriptures on a daily basis. So that means self-study means, okay, you don't have to like actually like find a scripture and read it, or at least listen to some discourse somewhere or whatever, right? So that way you are trying to understand. That's number one. Second aspect of that Brahma Yajna is sadhana. Sadhana means, see, like every scripture says do this, do that, do that. Okay, so like don't do this, etc. Some list of good advice. Some get rid of. I mean, some advice is given about like practice good habits, get rid of bad habits like that, right? So practice them, right? That is sadhana. Like pick some values and practice them. So that is swadhyaya and sadhana. And then, as part of practice, you also do seva. Seva means help these values are being propagated around you. Okay, so these three aspects, swadhyaya, self-study, sadhana, and seva. Okay, so all of these three together becomes Brahma Yajna. So we talked about Deva Yajna, Pitur Yajna, and Brahma Yajna. What? Two more are there, right? Manushya Yajna. Manushya Yajna means it is about sharing what you have with others is Manushya Yajna. So that means you give what you have, okay, as a donation or whatnot to people around you, help the needy people, take care of them, right? Now, it doesn't mean that, oh, I have to go to some, what is it called, like, soup place, like soup kitchens and serve there. Only then it is Manushya Yajna. Remember, your family members are also Manushyas. Okay. So take care of your family properly, take care of your friends properly, everyone everywhere around you. Okay. So that is all Manushya Yajna. And finally, Bhuta Yajna. Bhutas meaning beings. Any living being is Bhutas. So take care of those living beings also. How would our ancestors would do, like an example, right? Do you know, like they do column? Column means the
Rangoli.
sorry.
Rangoli.
Co-
Rangoli.
yeah, Rangoli or column. These are basically or muggu, that's what we call in Telugu. Okay, these are like artistic decorations that I mean like things that they draw on the floor before any event. Okay, so in the past, like we used to draw all of those in front of home every day, and that was used. That the material that was used is not any colorful material, right? But it was actually rice flour. Okay. By doing that, like a rice flour, what happens is that all the like, and you put them outside of the house, so the ants, etc., all the birds, etc., they all can eat that. Okay, feed on them, and they won't come inside the house. Also, it is two in one. Okay, because they are getting food right outside of the house, there's no need for them to come inside the house, and at the same time, you're taking care of the bhutas all around. So, right. So probably here. How the Bhuta Yajna we end up doing is that we think that we put some bird feed for birds, and who eats the food that we give to birds in our backyard? Squirrels end up eating all those birds here, right? But even then, they are also bhutas only. So take care of them as well. So all of these are yajnas. So this is the yajna when you need to perform. So now once you understand this yajna, right? Now in all of this, what happens is that all of that yajna is being performed in this body, and the whoever you're performing it to, whatever you're performing it to, is also me alone. Okay? And have that kind of a understanding. So that means when I'm performing this yajna, right? This karma, performing this action as a yajna, helping whether it is my son or whether it's my daughter or whether it is someone outside, understand that that is also me. This is also me. Okay. And with that understanding, you perform that yajna. That's what this is being said. So this is a real purpose of performance of a yajna. This is the yajna that I am talking about, Arjuna. So one who performs this yajna, they are the ones who are going to reach me. That is the essence of this. So here in this shloka, we saw Adhibhūtam. What is Adhibhūtam? Entire existence which is perishable is him. Meaning like everything around us is him. And all the devatas that we think about is him. Okay. And then Adhiyajñam, meaning like all the actions that we perform with a with the feeling of giving up, right? And at this yajna, when we perform, understand that I am the performer and the receiver is also him alone. Okay, the receiver is also me, performer is also me. So in a way, there is no yajna that is being performed. Okay, it is like, if you understand that the entire cosmos is me alone. Okay, so if I spend some money on getting something, in reality, there is no transaction involved. It is just that money is going from one pocket to another pocket, like left pocket to right pocket. Okay. Because the receiver is also me. Okay. So what did I give? Nothing. Okay. What did I receive? Because the one that I received from this person as some goods or services for that money, the giver is also me, and again the receiver is also me. Okay. So have that kind of an overall understanding. So then what happens? Why is it important? With all of this, the mind is at peace. When the mind is at rest, the mind becomes more focused. When the mind is at peace, it becomes focused, and that is when it can absorb the Vedantic wisdom. Which Vedantic wisdom we are talking about as part of Yajna? What are we doing as part of Yajna? Brahma Yajna, specifically, where you're learning scripture. So you're able to get that knowledge very well. Why? Because the mind is not running here and there anymore. Mind is not disturbed anymore. So then you become more, once you become more clear about your purpose. When that is clear, then you walk towards that purpose more strongly. Okay, so that's the meaning of this. I mean, that is the reason why such a person reaches Bhagwan sooner. Okay, so that's the definition of these three definitions. Now it's 9:57. So we'll start the next shloka in the next session. So I'll pause here and check if you have any questions based on what you heard in today's session. Okay, are there any difficult portions? Do you need any clarification anywhere?
I'm good.
Okay. Quite today. Okay. Then we'll close. पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ. Thank you all. See you all next Sunday.
Thank you, Venkat.
Okay.
Thank you.
No.
Thank you.